Man, I'm pissed off because I cannot stop saying thank you, Sensei, thank you, Paul Thomas Anderson, and most importantly, Viva la Revolution! Because One Battle After Another is the real deal, man. It's one of those special films that comes few and far between, that smacks you in the side of the head and reminds you why you love film in the first place. It's just filled with so much richness, and it's just one of those movies that makes me want to just have a word vomit and yap to share the experience that I had watching it on the big screen. So I'm going to be giving you my honest, spoiler-free thoughts of the film, so don't worry, there's not going to be any spoilers. But either way, man, I'm just itching to get into it, so me and you know what we got to do. We got to talk about it. And before we get into the full depth review, I had the honor and privilege, oh my goodness, it's still all so surreal to me that I was able to watch this in IMAX 70mm at IMAX headquarters, which definitely enhanced the experience, but I was genuinely just so overwhelmed at my eyes shooting from corner to corner of that big ass screen. It was a biblical cinematic experience, and I'll cherish it and hold it near and dear to my heart forever. Honestly, wish I could have taken all of y'all with me, because the more people that are able to watch this film, the better this world becomes. But we got to start off this review with the only way it should start, and that's by glazing the shit out of Paul Thomas Anderson. And really, this review was probably just going to be one big glaze sesh after another. But genuinely, man, PTA delivers us an odyssey of revolutionary proportions. A film that's intended to be seen, but ultimately felt deep down to your core. And I know a lot has been made about how this movie kind of fumbled the marketing aspect, but obviously the marketing is never a critique of the actual film itself. And if I could be quite frank with you, I was actually appreciative of the fact that they kind of misled us with the trailers, or, all the marketing being kind of like a jumbled mess. Because that misdirection and ambiguity in the marketing just enhanced my experience of me not knowing what the heck was going to happen next. I was genuinely shocked at what this movie was about, including its themes. I had no idea it was going to be tackling any of that. The only thing I thought it was going to be tackling was battles after another. But more on that in a second. And here's the synopsis of the film, just so you can get a better sense at what it's kind of about. Bob is a washed-up revolutionary who lives in a state of stone paranoia, surviving off-grid with his spirited and self-reliant daughter, Willa. When his evil nemesis resurfaces and Willa goes missing, the former radical scrambles to find her as both father and daughter battle the consequences of their past. Now, if you take that at face value, it kind of sounds like Taken or Finding Nemo. And while that definitely is the core of the film, there is just so much more it's about. What PTA presents us is a concoction of controlled chaos mixed with seamless comedic elements that gave me a big old grin. I was actually surprised at just how comedic it was, but it wasn't like that comedy that just comes out of left field. It was sewn into everything that was happening, which in my opinion is perfect comedy. But the balancing act of tones is just masterfully done by PTA here. You go from a comedic scene to a political thriller, a lot of tension, some action, and a whole lot of horny. It kind of feels like a puzzle piece, except a real intricate one, and where you're seeing the pieces, but you don't see how exactly they're going to come together. That is until you lock in and everything starts to click into place. And PTA has always been into human relationships and deep existential crisis, but here he pushes it to another level. The battles, both literal and metaphorical, are layered like onions with so much rich